When nature talks, the earth listens. Whether willingly or grudgingly, mankind pays attention to natural disasters as best we know how, just as some states in Nigeria did to recent flooding. That's our focus on Special Report. The people of Patigi in Kwara State have continually endured flooding on a constant basis. It does not only render some of them homeless, it also destroys their farms and in some cases claims lives. The troubling effect of the erosion occasioned by the constant flooding makes the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission embark on the construction of this erosion control drainage in August 2022. 2 years after that, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, represented by the Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, is here to inaugurate the erosion control drainage.
The commissioning of this Patigi General Hospital Erosion and Flood Control Dike marks a turning point in our fight against the devastation of this community by the dual disasters of floods and erosion. The project we're about to commission today is more than just an infrastructural development. It also represents a paradigm shift in how we approach urban planning and environmental protection. We have in the past witnessed the consequences of inadequate town planning across Nigeria as people have built homes and businesses on natural floodplains and water passages, leaving communities vulnerable to extreme weather events. This erosion and flood control dike provides a solution to these long-lasting issues.
This project aligns with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and our modest commitment to a safer environment in our state. It is one of the several makers signifying that we are moving into an era of resilience and progress for our nation. We are similarly pursuing the dredging of the River Niger, which we think will go a long way to tackle the perennial flooding as well as open a new opportunities in the axis of our state. Even so, the completion of this project is just the beginning of our journey towards a safer and more secure future. It is incumbent upon each and every member of this community to actively participate in the maintenance and upkeep of this infrastructure.
The erosion and flood control drainage system consists of two sections spanning 0.75 kilometers with culverts. It also has 0.325 kilometers of drains from various locations designed to salvage the surrounding land by channeling runoff to the river.
The flood control drainage system we are about to commission today consists of two sections spanning 0.75 kilometers with culverts. We have also constructed 0.2325 kilometers of drain from various locations which serve as spur to the main drainage, which has been provided to salvage the surrounding land by channeling runoff to the river. The total cost of this project is 613,473,560 naira and 93 kobo, which represent a significant investment in the future of Patigi town and surroundings. This expenditure demonstrates the federal government's unshakable determination to allocating every naira from the government treasury to those who truly deserve it. At this juncture, I want to emphasize that this project, like many others we have launched recently, is driven by a renewed impetus inspired by the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
We need to support the government. Everybody has his own responsibility. But when there is negligence in your own responsibility, you don't expect Mr. President to come from his office.
With the construction of the erosion control drainage within Patigi community, it's expected that the annual flooding in the area will be reduced to the barest minimum until the time of the dredging of the River Niger is done in the areas affected in the zone. Meanwhile, heavy flooding damaged the bridge connecting 20 communities in Mayama local government area of Kebbi State following heavy rainfall. The affected communities including Mayalo, Sambawa, Gubinkure, Ongwa Shaibu, and Gendiji villages have been cut off as the bridge, a vital transportation link, was washed away by the floodwaters, leaving residents stranded. The affected communities are urging the government to expedite repairs and reconstruction of the bridge to restore connectivity and normalcy to their lives.
Actually, when we hear about it, we are we are not happy. But we know it is from God. So actually, when we hear this is what is happening in our area, my local government, we have rushed together with my director of works, and we talk with our leaders in the local government that it has not started only here. It started right from Sarandosa, Achikaratu, where even somebody died, and so many villages from Karai also. So this one happens yesterday, actually. So when we hear from it this morning, so I make an arrangement with my director of works, here he is, so we have come to see by ourselves, and we inform all our stakeholders from my local government. So we are praying from Almighty Allah to stop all these things, and we are appealing to our government. I know it is able to do, because our government is very, very able, and it has been doing all these things. So in Allah, so we told our people that whenever we push all these things to our government, it will take care of it very soon.
According to the traditional ruler in charge of the affected communities, Abubakar Marafa, the collapse disrupted economic activities at the time, social interactions, and access to essential services in the affected villages, as the bridge was the only link connecting 20 communities to the state capital and the nearest local government.
This culvert, it links many villages in my area, like Mayalo, Sambawa, Gumbinkure, Gamjeji, Gumawa, Gundongawa, about 20 something of them villages. It's only this road they are passing to Jega or Kebbi. Except this one, there's no way to follow. So we are pleading to government to take action, serious action, emergency action to help our people here.
The youth of the communities embarked on community services to create an alternative route, easing the flow of people and goods, especially farm produce.
The head of the district of Mayalo, he's the one that sent me the picture in my telephone as message across. He's been doing his best, mobilizing the youth and the people of that community to try to do some access road so that people can be using it for now before the government come. You can see the job is going there, and myself, we are here to join hands together to assist so that we can get a little place that our people can be using to go to reach their various communities.
The cause of the collapse was attributed to heavy rainfall, which exceeded the bridge's capacity. And another part of the Kano-Maiduguri highway was cut off in Bauchi State following heavy flooding. Heavy rainfall damaged parts of the highway, particularly between Mallory and Guskiri villages in Katagum local government area. During an inspection of the damage, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State says he reported the situation to the Minister of Works, who was in the state for a previous assessment of the damage.
We have designed the project here, and the work is to start immediately. Yes. Yes. I want to thank the governor very highly for the palliative work. We reported it in the Council of State that this road was cut, and the governor has provided palliative work. This is governance. This is governance for the people. Because this road is a major road. It's a major road. Kano to Meduguri road is very, very important. And when I live here, we are going to Session 1, Jigawa, between Jigawa and Kano. We are terminating that job because it has been there for 17 years. The president doesn't want that. He wants to complete it quick, because he loves the people of Northeast. Put your hands together for our president. We are going to have 5 relief culverts. We are going to put retaining walls, both sides. We are going to concrete it with concrete, 8 inches. And nothing will happen again when we finish. That is what the president said I should tell you. Thank you. That's what he said I should tell you. Thank you.
Governor Mohammed was also warned that communities are at risk of being submerged if the flow of water is not managed effectively. Seven days of heavy rainfall threw thousands of people into disarray in most parts of Jigawa State. Lots of families were rendered homeless as water inundated their homes and farms.
We now live in a school building. We are now like beggars. We have lost our rice, sorghum, beans, farms to the flood.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense, Badaru Abubakar, visited Jigawa State to commiserate with the people and the governor. Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa expressed gratitude to the minister for donating the sum of 20 million naira to the victims.
Over 1,148 communities were affected, 7,500 households affected, over 50,000 people affected, and about 11,500 farmlands affected also, while we lost 33 indigents of the state as a result of this affliction.
I am sure so many people in Abuja were also sympathizing with you, also condoling you for what is happening in Jigawa State. So this situation is for all of us. But you still decided to be here physically, not only to condole us, but also to donate us some money amounting to 20 million to help our people. May Allah reward you most abundantly.
The government and people of Jigawa State look forward to permanent recovery from the effects of the disaster. The National Emergency Management Agency has held a public awareness campaign on proper waste management in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. Distributing information, education and communication material to people at the market and communities to mitigate the impacts of flooding in the state. The director of the agency, Zubaida Umar, met with community leaders and stakeholders in Gusau, the state capital, to sensitize them on the need for people in their domain to avoid blocking waterways and clean up the drainages to prevent flooding in their communities to save lives and property, noting the recent flood experienced in Zamfara was caused by dumping of refuse on waterways and gutters.
I'm delighted to be at this workshop today as an important issue of national interest, which is sensitization and creating public awareness on proper waste management and flood preparedness for states and relevant stakeholders. As you may be aware, proper waste management and flood preparedness are essential for well-being of communities and environment. In light of the increasing challenges posed by improper waste disposal and impact of flood on our communities, we give reference to Gadarbaga, the recent flooding there, It is very crucial to educate the public about the importance responsible waste management practice and preparedness for potential fraud events. This disposal of solid waste has become a major problem that militates against sustainable environment all over the world, including Nigeria, especially in the major cities. Waste management is the process and action required to manage waste from its inception to its final disposal. It deals with all types of waste, including industrial, biological, household, municipal, organic, and radioactive waste. The negative impact of improper waste disposal as it affects human life and environment are very intimidating. Ladies and gentlemen, flooding is one of the most frequent disasters that occur largely as a result of human interference with the nature. It results to loss of lives, injury, displacement, loss of means of livelihood, outbreak of diseases, among others. To this effect, it's essential and necessary to create public awareness in order to promote community information sharing on how to dispose waste in a sustainable manner and to mitigate flooding. This workshop is part of the proactive measures developed by NEMA towards mitigating the impact of the anticipated floods in 2024, as predicted by the seasonal rainfall climate prediction of the NIMET and the annual flood outlook of Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency. Every one of us here is a witness to the recent floods in Nigeria, which claims lives, displaced thousands of people, and destroyed properties worth billions of naira. It caused widespread ecological dislocation. Therefore, it becomes necessary for every single individual and communities to take proactive measures which will help to reduce the impact of the flood to the barest minimum. Prevention, they said, is better than cure. I therefore wish you fruitful discussions, open, interesting and exciting exchange of ideas, and I look forward to consider and take necessary actions in the outcomes of this meeting. In conclusion, we once again wish to appreciate the support of His Excellency the Executive Governor of the Zamfara State, Dr. Dauda Lawal, and his government, and the roles of all our stakeholders in the area of disaster management in Nigeria.
Zamfara State was one of the states in the country that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency had predicted would experience flooding, with 8 local government areas of the state being affected.
This is, I can say, is close to second of its kind in the 2024 fiscal year. About 2 to 3 months ago, a similar gathering was conducted at this venue, and it was really a successful gathering, and everybody has increased his knowledge purposely on what brought the organizers here. That means to warn us on the expected flood disaster expected in the year. So really, we must, on the behalf of the Honorable Commissioner Salisu Musa Tsafe, it highly became imperative to me to say kudos, to thank the National Emergency Management Agency under the able leadership of Haji Azub at the national level, as well as the Sokoto Operational Office under the able leadership of Alhaji Ali Shehu Kapindangi for the concern shown to us to inform our people of what and what not to do, most especially as this forecasted flood disaster activity. Therefore, we have to say kudos to you and thank the National Emergency Management Agency for the concern to save our people's lives and properties.
The National Emergency Management Agency had conducted an assessment in 10 local government areas of Zamfara State, which suffered flooding, with several numbers of households displaced and the incident occurred due to the blockage of waterways and poor attitudes to waste management.
With the role of private organizations, corporate entities, NGOs, civil societies, organizations, environmental governance cannot be let out. Most of those, and especially, we have the following: collecting, dissemination, analysis of information, participation in policy development process, and performing operational functions, monitoring enforcement and compliance of environmental laws and regulation, advocating for environmental justice, among others that has been implemented by the current present administration. At this juncture, I would like to thank the NEMA Operational Office in Sokoto for their timely concern, and I hope the relief material will be provided to victims in Gadarbaga soonest. Finally, our community has also known the addressing in environmental challenges and the responsibility of all of us to not rely on government alone, but all hands shall be on our neck for proper solution to those environmental challenges. Finally, together we can clean our environment, clean environment in a healthy environment. Thank you and God bless you.
Government agencies such as NIMET and NEMA are always on alert at times like these. And when the impact of occurrences are naturally derived, it only means more work must be done with the full support of the government to mitigate such disasters. For Special Report, I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for watching.